On this week's Most Craved.
We're back from the third biannual D23.
Is that a D? I thought that was a treble clef.
Hey guys, welcome to Most Craved. I'm Jenna Bush with Legion of Leia.
I'm Silas Lesnick with ComingSoon.net.
I'm William Bibiani with Crave Online. Hi.
So we all went to D23 this weekend, Disney's big event where they talked about Star Wars, Marvel. They own everything in the entire world.
Technically, I did not go, but I watched.
Oh.
I watched from the comfort of my home.
I did not know that because I was in a press line for 2 days straight.
No, you're more important than I am. I'm not arguing this. You're fine.
No.
You're what? Well, she is.
No. I didn't get to see all the footage.
Well, okay.
I
fine.
did.
You did.
Silas,
And it was pretty solid. It was weird comparing the live action to animation because the animation is full of like fanfare and like songs and like big things, where live action was much more like a presentation of like, here's this and this and this, and moved much faster. Animation took like an hour longer than it was supposed to.
It did. The press line was like 7 hours, but there was some really cool stuff that came out of it. And there was the announcement of the new film Gigantic, which looks really, really cool. It's set in Spain and it's based on Jack and the Beanstalk, but the lead character, there's Jack, and then who's in his 20s. Yeah, and then there's a little 11-year-old girl who is a giant and apparently has this really intense personality and is based on, the filmmakers told me, is based on a little girl that they met while doing research. So that actually looks really cool.
I like that pairing just visually, as far as like, well, you have these Disney princesses go, and now this one's a giant and like teams with like a tiny man to like stop evil giants from doing something. I can see that being a lot of fun, and they played a song from it, which was like the right blend of like weird and like, this is it just sounded, it was called like My Little Man. And, or My Tiny Man.
Oh dear.
I've been really enjoying the way that Disney, because there's actually still fairy tales they haven't done yet, which is kind of incredible to even think about. And I've actually been enjoying the way they've been playing with and subverting with them. The Princess and the Frog was incredible, if you ask me. And I think Tangled is actually arguably even better than Frozen. Like, it's a really, really clever, funny movie.
Gigantic is director of Tangled, and we've hit this like adjective princess movies. So
yes.
Tangled, Frozen, Gigantic.
I forgot about that. That's very good. And then there's Moana, which is not an adjective, but Moana's really cool. And I talked to the filmmakers backstage, and they were really focused on making everything accurate in terms of the mythology of the Pacific Islands. And it's something it's sort of an interesting thing because all of this fan art of this character is out there, but there's been no actual image of the character because people are so excited about it. They made a big point of saying they had traveled to a bunch of different Pacific Islands, they had spoken to people off the tourist track, and they kept checking their story ideas with them, which I thought was really cool.
Well, you got to remember that these are the same directors who did Aladdin, which, yes, is a great movie, but it was also one of the most controversial movies of its time because of the liberties it took with taking characters who are supposed to be from an Arabic country and making the heroes really, really white and the villains really, really not white. And so it sounds like hopefully they've learned their lesson a little bit and are going to try to be a little bit less, I don't want to say like PC or anything like that, like as if it might be to the detriment, but maybe they'll take it more seriously about the multiculturalism because movies, international box offices are so much more important now, and also it's nice.
And The Rock is going to sing.
And The Rock is an interesting, especially considering Aladdin, because I'm not sure the last time a celebrity voice was front and center with an animated film. And on principle,
in Disney, anyway.
In Disney,
Yeah.
certainly.
Disney,
On
clarify.
principle, I kind of feel it shouldn't be. You should never have the like star above the story or the. But Dwayne Johnson just seems to fit this so
Totally
perfectly.
does.
Yeah.
And the character looks like a lot of fun. It's this like big muscly tattooed guy, but his tattoos move, and he's a demigod. And
Yeah, and they actually said that he, this is a lot of CG, which is new for them, but that the tattoos are hand drawn.
Neat.
Yeah.
David Spade, The Emperor's New Groove.
It's not my favorite movie.
I like that movie. I'm saying star. It was told as like a David Spade movie. I actually like that movie a lot. I think it holds up. Anyway, so there was also a book, a Jungle Book.
Oh yes.
that was the live action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm all about the Civil War footage they showed. That was my favorite thing of the expo. But Jungle Book was the biggest surprise. Was Jon Favreau came out and he made a point that it was all shot in downtown Los Angeles on sound stages. They designed it as an animated film, and then they had the boy playing Mowgli act within the animated film, and now they're rendering it to what is astonishing looking visually. I mean, it looks like Donald Planet of the Apes style effects, but with Jungle Book characters and a really impressive cast.
And I was really, I was checking Twitter, obviously, because we were backstage while the presentation was happening, so we didn't know what they were announcing. So everyone was on Twitter. Only the press had their phones to tweet, so it wasn't the public. But that got the biggest reaction, even more than Civil War, which was really surprising. I did not see the footage, but I did talk to Ben Kingsley backstage, who was saying that part of the reason this was so cool was that he, even though he was doing the voice, got to work with Neil Sethi, who is the boy playing Mowgli, and that he was stunned when he saw the footage, and he was blown away. And Neil is maybe the cutest child in history. It's ridiculous.
Good for him.
He's really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I was the cutest kid in history. I had to settle for fifth best. So tell me about, do we learn anything from the Civil War footage? Because this isn't online yet as of recording.
I was excited. I mean, the first big surprise in it is that Red Wing is in the movie.
Yes!
Falcon has a drone that he calls Red Wing.
Okay.
That,
so it's like Soundwave and his little cassettes, and they just sort of flies around.
Yeah, but it
Yes.
sort of
Neat.
looks like a bird, and
That's
like
cool.
they showed a whole setup where like this marketplace battle with crossbones, which I suspect is at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And he says something in a cap that hints that he knows where Bucky is, and I think that's what sets off. But we see some fighting between like Avengers, and we're kind of not sure like why is Black Widow on a different side than Hawkeye.
Yeah. And now this footage I weirdly kind of a little bit saw because we all heard the noise and we ran out, and so we saw the back of the screen. So I saw everything backwards with very little sound. But what I saw, oh my God, it looked good. And we got a glimpse of Black Panther, which from what I saw backwards without sound, really cool. Really cool. And Ant-Man was
Yeah,
there.
there was a whole like extended sort of comedic sequence with Ant-Man just being like flabbergasted to meet Steve Rogers, and it was really funny. I think what the Russos do really well is blend some very stylish action with. I think Winter Soldier, which is my favorite Marvel Studios film right now, it's really funny as well as everything else, and I hope. I mean, it looks like that's continuing.
Yeah, I watched it again last night, actually, Winter Soldier, and it's just brilliant, and I'm so excited for Civil War. And then, of course, we had the Star Wars cast come out on stage. I did not see them there, but I did interview them backstage, which is a weird thing. It's odd to do an interview with people who can't say anything about anything, but it really was interesting talking
You should have
to
just made up stuff. So what was it like to like play Jar Jar Binks' grandson?
Okay,
Like, what,
but George Lucas during the Legends Awards ceremony said that Jar Jar Binks was based on Goofy, which was interesting.
okay, I can kind of see that.
I would
can also,
love to see a series of Jar Jar Binks like Goofy shorts where it's like Jar Jar Binks trying to like, oh, he wants to be a mailman.
Silas, will you please do your
No.
Jar Jar Binks imitation because you cracked me up at D23.
Yes, let's open this can of worms.
Do it. No, it's wonderful. Do it.
Monsters out there, leaking in here, all sinking and no power. When you said Thinky in trouble.
So happy. I've been laughing since you did that on Friday. It's really good.
That's really, really great. That's really
That's all the time we have on this
Wait,
episode.
No, we do have to talk about Star Wars Land because though
Yeah.
we got a picture. We got a picture from Rogue One, which
Yeah.
was really cool, that showed a large amount of the cast. And we also heard about Star Wars Land, Star Wars theme park that means I will be moving to Anaheim in a number of years. So if the squatters' rights, they won't be able to kick me out. It'll be fine.
Oh, is that how that works?
That's apparently.
Yeah.
I'm not a theme park guy, but I thought it looked a lot of. My favorite theme park experience I've been to is Harry Potter World in
Right.
Universal.
Yeah.
And this is a Star Wars version of that. And what's really cool is it doesn't look like it's based on anything specifically. It's a planet on the outer rim, and there is a cantina, and there's creatures wandering the street, and there's aliens, and the Millennium Falcon is docked there.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Well, see, that's my thing. I love the Harry Potter Land in Universal Studios because it's very immersive. They even make it so that it's hard to see the rest of the park, like over the building. So you're just like there, stuck in Hogsmeade and all that kind of stuff. And if it's going to have a lot of stuff that I'm not familiar with from Star Wars, I'm wondering if that's going to be as exciting to me because ultimately it's going to boil down to, oh, here's the cantina and here's the Mos Eisley cover band. Like it's going
I
to
would
be a
see
little
that.
different.
I
you
would
know?
totally
like,
see
it's like
that.
they do the same song, but we do it ska, you know? Like that would, I don't even know why we would do that. It's
It's completely plausible that Fig Grindan and the Molten Nodes could be on tour and also playing at this other.
After 30 years,
Sure.
You don't know
The Rolling Stones are
the
still
life
playing.
the Rolling
expectancy
Stones
of
had
a
more
band.
than one hit song.
Right.
Their band only had one hit
Don't know.
song.
Maybe there were more.
You know
And
the name of that song?
I don't know the name of that song.
It's called Mad About Me.
wonderful.
Next week on Most Craved, we're going to be talking. Colin Trevorrow is also directing Star Wars 9. Anyone care? No? No? Yes? Might be okay? Fine. Everybody, tweet us at Most Craved. Tell us what you think about all the Star Wars stuff. We'll be back next week.
May the force be with you.